Love makes us trust. Trust makes us blind. And sometimes blindness is deadly. They say marriage is built on trust. But what happens when you realize you married a ghost? Before we start, like this video and comment where you are watching from. Your support helps us to bring more powerful stories. Now let's begin. When Claire Whitmore, 32, first stepped into the sleepy streets of Havenbrook, Montana, she wasn't looking for love. She just left Chicago after a bitter divorce, desperate for peace. The town's single main street smelled faintly of pine and fresh bread from Mason's Bakery. That's where she met Daniel Harrow, a quiet, well-mannered widower with a soft smile and an even softer voice. Daniel told her over coffee at the Rusty Lantern Diner that his wife, Lila, had passed 2 years ago in what police called an accidental fall. He didn't linger on details, and Claire didn't press. Their conversations were simple, his kindness steady. Within 6 months, they were married in a small ceremony by the lake. Daniel's home was a 2-story Victorian on Cypress Hill Road, framed by overgrown rose bushes. Lila's presence still lingered. Her perfume in the bathroom, a half-empty box of her favorite tea, a row of floral dresses in the closet. Daniel never spoke much about her, and Claire assumed it was grief. On a rainy Sunday afternoon, while cleaning out the attic, Claire found a small leather-bound journal wedged behind a trunk. The cover was embossed with the initials LH, Lila Harrow. The first pages were filled with warm notes about gardening and sunsets, but then the entries shifted. Lila began hinting at feeling watched, even in her own home. One entry, dated March 18, 2021, read, "He isn't who he says he is. I found something in the shed. I think he's dangerous." Claire's chest tightened. She put the journal away, but couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, she asked Daniel about the shed. His expression changed, a flicker of something dark, before he smiled and said it was just tools. Claire called her sister Megan in Chicago, whispering about the journal. Megan told her to be careful, to maybe leave, but Claire wanted answers. When Daniel went on a supposed overnight fishing trip, Claire took the spare shed key from the kitchen drawer. Inside, she found dusty boxes labeled books, but beneath them was a metal case with a false bottom. Inside, an old revolver, photographs of women she didn't recognize, and a driver's license belonging to a David Hensley. The photo on the license was Daniel. Different name, different state. Idaho. Claire's pulse pounded. Who was David Hensley? And why had he been living under another name? That night, while she tried to sleep, Claire heard the creak of footsteps outside the bedroom. The doorknob twisted. She reached for her phone, but the sound stopped. In the morning, Daniel was unusually quiet, his eyes following her like shadows. Claire took the journal and the fake ID to Sheriff Paul Grady. At first, he was cautious, saying it could be nothing. But when he ran the name David Hensley, his expression hardened. Hensley had been a suspect in the disappearance of Emily Carter in Boise, never charged, but strongly suspected. Sheriff Grady began interviewing neighbors. Mrs. Talbot, who lived across the street, admitted she'd seen Daniel arguing with Lila the night before she died. Mason, the baker, recalled seeing Daniel late that night driving toward the mountains. Detectives searched the shed, uncovering a gold bracelet engraved with E.C., Emily Carter. They also found burned scraps of paper in a barrel, some with partial words. Police, truth, danger. Daniel came home to find the police leaving. His calm mask slipped. "What have you done, Claire?" he asked in a tone that chilled her. She told him she found the journal. His eyes went flat. "You shouldn't have read that." Police placed a discreet patrol near the house. But Daniel seemed to know. He avoided his usual routines, started locking the bedroom door at night from his side. Fearing for her sister, Megan drove from Chicago. Together, the women stayed at a motel. One night, they returned to find Claire's purse on the bed, even though neither had been there all day. Detectives linked fingerprints on the revolver to Dean Harper, a missing man from Oregon. Witnesses confirmed Dean and David Hensley were the same person, and Daniel Harrow was just his latest name. Police moved in to arrest Daniel, but when they reached the house, it was empty. The back door hung open. On the kitchen counter was a single note. "You don't know the whole story." While combing through Lila's old dresser, Police found a photograph tucked inside a locket. Lila with another man, not Daniel. The man's face was scratched out. On the back, "If anything happens to me, find him." 2 weeks later, Claire received a package in the mail. Inside was a single Polaroid, a photo of her taken from outside the motel window. No note, just the image. The investigation remains open. Police believe Daniel, David, or Dean, whatever his real name, may be connected to multiple disappearances across 3 states. Claire lives under police protection, but every time the phone rings, she wonders if it's him. Watching, waiting. Anna McCarthy sat on her bed, the late wife's journal trembling in her hands. The last entry was nothing like the others. In shaky handwriting, the woman had written, "If you're reading this, run." It was 2:47 a.m. when Anna heard the knock. Soft, deliberate. When she opened the door, no one was there. Only a folded newspaper on the porch. Inside was a photo of her husband, Mark Weaver, but with a different name scrawled under it, Ethan Cole. Anna drove straight to the sheriff's office at sunrise. Detective Laura Green listened quietly as Anna explained the journal, the knock, and the photograph. Green didn't react. She simply said, "Mrs. McCarthy, Ethan Cole is a wanted man." Green pulled out an old file. Ethan Cole had been a suspect in his girlfriend's disappearance 15 years ago in Montana. The case went cold when he vanished. Until now, that night, while Mark was out, Anna ventured into the basement, behind an old water heater. She found a small wooden box. Inside, a gold wedding ring with initial CR, a bloodstained scarf, and a Polaroid of a smiling young woman, the same face in the journal's cover. Green and a handwriting analyst worked on the journal. Some letters in each entry were darker, almost intentional. When lined up, they formed a hidden message. "Help me. He is killing again." Mrs. Doyle, an elderly neighbor, told Green she once saw Mark, no, Ethan, burning clothes in his backyard at 3 a.m. 2 months before his wife's accident. She never told anyone, until now. Green tracked down a bartender, Jake Larson, who remembered a heated argument between Ethan and a blonde woman weeks before the wife's death. "She left in tears," Jake said, "and that was the last I saw her." Reviewing old case files, Green noticed a chilling pattern. Ethan's past partners had all died or gone missing after around 18 months together. The timeline with Anna was closing in. Anna's car began acting strangely. Green had it checked. Hidden under the wheel well was a GPS tracker. "He knows where you are at all times," Green warned. Mark/Ethan returned home smiling, claiming he'd been at work all night. But security footage from his supposed job site showed nothing. He wasn't there. Following a faint draft behind a bookcase, Green found a hidden crawl space in the Weaver home. Inside, another journal, this one in Ethan's handwriting, documenting every move Anna made since they met. Anna received a block call. A man's whisper said, "You're not the first, but you can be the last." The line went dead. Green visited a roadside motel where Ethan was spotted. The manager confirmed he'd checked in under the name Daniel Reese with a different woman just 2 nights ago. Lab results in the scarf revealed blood belonging to Clara Reynolds, the woman whose face was in the Polaroid. Clara had been missing for 3 years. Green confronted Ethan in his driveway. He didn't run, didn't shout. He just smiled and said, "You're looking for a killer, detective. You might be standing right in front of him, or maybe not." Then he walked back inside without a word. The next morning, Ethan's car was gone. His phone, wallet, and clothes were still in the house. He had simply vanished. Green handed Anna the second journal. The last page read, "I never kill the one I marry, but I always leave them with something they can't forget." 3 days later, Anna's phone rang. No caller ID. A deep voice said, "Check your mailbox." Inside was a single Polaroid of Anna, taken while she was sleeping. Anna stood frozen on her porch, clutching the photograph. Somewhere out there, Ethan was watching, maybe from the woods, maybe from the street, maybe closer. The final word in her mind, run. For more powerful stories like this, subscribe to our channel.